Hey Wolf Pack, Angela Wolf here, and there is a lot of creativity going on in the studio today. So say hi, say where you're from, and today on Behind the Scenes, I'm going to show you everything I'm working on I just finished one of my sweaters. I've got another one in the works, but this one is going to have some buttons. Thanks, Susan, for the idea. So now I just have to find what color I want. I'm debating between gold or brass. So you can all vote on that. And you can see I'm embroidering on the other side. 368 minutes, I believe, is what it's going to take. Can you guess what it's for? Can you guess what I'm embroidering? Just out of curiosity. All right, I see you all. We're all having a great chat before I even got here. And as always, it is so nice to see you all. So I have a question for you. How are you doing with this whole daylight savings time? Because please tell me I'm not the only person that instead of waking up at 3 a.m. is now waking up at 2 a.m., which is really annoying. 3 a.m., at least it was kind of like, well, I could get up, read a book, or work and not feel like it's the middle of the night. 2 in the morning, it isn't working. So anyways, if I fall asleep during the show, you'll know why. All right, so I've got a lot going on in the studio today. Remember this skirt? I'm debating if I should make the matching jacket, or if you watched last week's fabric stash sale, you know I have a new black tweed that has some sequins on it. And I thought that would be a very couture, touch of couture style jacket. And I was debating on what kind of trim. So let me go over here and I'll show you what I'm working on. Of course, yes, this is my embroidery collection. Touch of Couture. It was collection number 2. All right. $369 to be exact. So using, now this is the Luminaire, so it doesn't have the matrix feature, but it does have the feature where you can add a bunch of designs. So you can see 369 minutes, and I'm not even halfway done. Not even close. So this might take a few days. So I went through and changed the colors, and I started with red. So like that's one of the designs right there. And then I just added them together, and then I flipped them over, and I thought that looks like a great trim. So if you look really close, it's really hard to see the white on there, but it's white with black, and it could match either my white and black tweed. Take you there really close. Or it's going to match the black. Originally, I thought, you know what? Black and red would be really pretty. I'm going to sneeze. So see how nice this fabric would look with that as trim? Here, I'll hit pause just for a second so I don't screw something up. Like embroider over my skirt. All right, so take a closer look. This is just on black tulle. So wash away stabilizer, which will disappear. And then I will take the tulle and use this as trim along the front of the jacket, along the sleeves. And when I'm finished, this will be the one piece of trim. So it's about 3.5 inches wide. This is what it's looking like so far. So it would definitely match the black and white and look very classy. Or what did I do with the black? It's hiding. Well, it looks like this, except it's black. Here's the red. This is the red tweed that has the sequins in it. I also have navy and black. But I'm thinking with the black, this would look so good. Actually, the black and red would look really good on the red, but only one at a time because it's going to take a while. So I think I have enough here to do, so that's 3 sets of trim by the time I'm finished. And this should be enough for the front of the jacket and then maybe one sleeve. So I will embroider probably 2 full hoopings. And in this collection, touch of couture, I also have corners and I have the curve that goes around the neckline. So I'll embroider those separate. So what I do with the tool is I treat it like a piece of trim. So even if it's not all connected, it's fine the way I piece it in. But what do you think? Should I go with the black and white as trim or the black? I guess you probably won't know till I'm finished embroidering, huh? Just out of curiosity. Oh, thanks, Deborah. She said it's beautiful. I agree. Oh, let me hit go again. We might as well let it embroider since I've got like 4 more days to do this. Yeah. Helen said she needs to see it finished to decide. I know. I kind of do too. And thanks, Susan. Sorry. I've been running all over today and my allergies are killing me. So by the way, if you're popping in on Facebook, be sure to like and share this post to your page if you want to watch it over again. And if you're on Facebook, be sure to subscribe and you can also share it as well if you want to watch the replay. So I've got lots to share today. No, Patty, I'm not using sticky wash. I'm just using wash away. The sticky wash away with the tool is just a little bit too sticky, to be literal. So I like it just with 1 layer of wash away, 1 layer of tulle. Thanks, Sandra. Thanks, Anne. April from Australia. Great to see you. Glenda says the black and white. Yeah, I know. As soon as it's finished, though, because this is only just half of the design. The whole design, as you saw, was quite a bit larger, and then it had flowers going out. And actually, that's what I designed this collection for, was to use for trim on jackets. And I did the trim on my green jacket. Do you remember the green jacket? Hold on, I'll go grab it. Like I said, there's a lot going on in the studio today, so I'm just going to share everything, and then I'm starting my jeans. All right, so I'll meet you at the table. So yesterday in Fashion Sewing Club, we've been sewing cardigans. And we were playing with some pockets, which is going to be a lot of fun. And no, I just finished sewing this top, and no, it's not hemmed yet, just for the record. So anyways, I was cutting out pockets, but I was working on a cuff here, which I'll share with you in just a second. But here, let's go back to remember this jacket with this trim? So this is the same, I think this is actually the same design. And there's a ton of different designs. I don't know why I didn't pick something different. So this I sewed on tulle, so you can see how the corners are. And this was the green and purple, which coordinated with this fabric. Isn't that beautiful? So I think when it's finished, all of this section here, no, I did pick a different one. This is one of the versions. The other version, I think the bottom part is white and black. So now this trim is going to be double wide. It's going to be about this wide. It's going to be, I don't know, it's going to be rich. And if I don't like it, I'll cut it in half. It's not a big deal. It's not like it's the end of the world. But I also like the corners that I can easily do the sleeves. That's always the hardest thing when you're trying to do something. Even if this was a quilting project, there are always corners. So there's a design built in there that I use for this. All right. I have my jeans here, but before we get to that, I have a great idea. So now this shirt is finished, but the cardigan that you saw on the dress form behind me, I thought it would be cool to have a cuff, maybe about this big, a wider cuff. And then Susan gave the idea of buttons, and I love buttons. So I'm going to make a cuff that has a button opening, just like this. And I need buttonholes here. So guess what I thought of? If you've been following along on the Brother Show lately, oh my gosh, this idea is going to be so much fun. Buttonholes can kind of be a pain, especially on something thick like a knit or denim. That can be tricky there too. So I thought, hey, we've got all the tools of the trade. And you saw us using the matrix feature yesterday. So I'm not going to use the matrix because that would make a whole piece of fabric, but it's going to be so easy to make a whole layer of buttonholes. I think that's going to be super easy. I can't say I take credit for the idea because somebody yesterday said, hey, it would be so much fun to do buttonholes with that feature. So I'm laying it out and then I'm going to save it. So I'm working on like 5 different projects. So this is literally behind the scenes because you're going to be sewing and designing with me. You like that, Helen? Yeah, I thought so too. So what color buttons do you think I should use? Gold? It's this color, same color that I'm wearing. Do you think I like green? I think there's a little bit of this fabric left, maybe a couple yards. So I'm going to have the cute pockets on here with a button. Buttons on the cuff, and I could technically put buttons, a few buttons down the front too. Silver. I know, Patty. I think I need to call Kim and get some of her buttons. Oh, thanks, Shirley. Sandra. Yeah, the embroidery design, yeah, it's on my website. Go to angelawolfpatterns.com. It's on that website. Any downloadable patterns are on there and not the app. So, and this one is collection 2. I'm going to use the trim on the jacket, not the skirt. Yep, I hooped the tulle. I did. Thanks, Karina. All right, did I miss any questions before I show you what I'm going to do with the buttons? I will, Zena. I will show you. Covered buttons would be pretty, but I want something to stand out, kind of rich. So I'm not going to do that. And so, by the way, some of you guys are asking, I didn't even think about this till right now. The embroidery collection, I will get you a discount. So if you're in Fashion Sewing Club, you already have a discount. It's inside of the Fashion Sewing Club website. So I'm not going to share it here because not everybody's a member. And before we end the show today, I will make sure I give a discount code to everyone. It won't be as big as Fashion Sewing Club, but it'll be good. All right, so let me show you. It is about jeans, Mary. We're getting there. Jeans are on table number 2. I'm making 3 things today. All right, so let's head over and I'll show you how I'm going to do the buttons. And it's actually the same way I'm going to do the buttons for the jeans. All right, so we're over here. Yeah, Mary, this is officially behind the scenes because every machine in my sewing room is going right now. Okay, so this was the idea I had for the cuffs on the sleeves. And again, this is what we did in Fashion Sewing Club yesterday, but you could do a pattern hack on this. Go to embroidery. If you have a machine similar to this one's the Stillaire, but this feature is on a few different machines. Go into your buttonholes, which there are quite a few. For this one, I'll probably do a keyhole button, and I probably will not open the entire button because on a knit, it can kind of stretch out a little bit. So I'll use I will use fusible interfacing on the cuff. And then let's click. Now that's huge, right? Wowzer. Let's go to a medium. That one's 2 inches wide. That would be pretty good. Click set. Okay, there it is. And if it was too wide, well, that's a little bit big. Let's see if I can change the size a little bit smaller. Yeah, I think this is just going to make it shorter though. Well, let's see. That's about 1.5 inches. Yeah, that wouldn't be bad. Okay, so once I have that, I'll click on this feature here where we found the matrix yesterday and click above. Now, obviously, I want that to be a wee bit further apart. So let me just make this a little brighter. And I'm showing you this because then I'm going to show you what I'm doing with my pockets. My favorite part of making jeans is doing the pockets. All right, so I have my grid on here. It's at 1 inch. So about once I figure out what size buttons I'm going to use, let's just say I want it that far, and then I can add 4 of those, right like that. Move that whole section over. Let's add one more just for the heck of it. And then I can even add a whole section to the right for the other cuff. Let's go ahead and cut that apart. Then I can move this over, click on edit. I mean, talk about fast embroidering buttonholes. Oh my gosh. In fact, we had talked about embroidered buttonholes before. It's one of my new favorite things, especially for jeans, because you have that thick layer of fabric in the front, and sometimes your stitches can get totally messed up when you're trying to do that really nice keyhole button. So this is going to be for my sweater that goes with my jeans. So here, just go like this, and now I have the right cuff and the left cuff, and I can embroider both in just a handful of minutes. But the first thing I have to do is find my buttons to decide how far apart I should put these buttonholes. All right. Now let's move on to the jeans. I've got my jeans pattern, and yeah, Susan, I was thinking of doing a fake one, a fake buttonhole, because I just don't, you know how it could stretch out a little bit? Yeah. It's just a little bonus. Ooh, wooden button. Alice, wooden buttons would look really good. Yeah. Okay. So I cut out the skinny jeans. I told you I'm making a pair of boot cut, which I am. But like, I don't know, 4 months ago, I made a great fitting muslin, and I haven't changed that much in size. I've lost a little bit of weight, so I will try on the muslin, and I'll probably have to take it in a little bit in different areas, but I can take the skinny jean and turn it into boot cut. So that's what I'm going to do, because I'm going to alter the waist a little lower, curve the waistband. So I'm basically going to mash 2 patterns together. The boot cut jean has a beautiful waistband that's nice curve. It's about 2.5 to 3 inches wide. I really like that look. And I'm debating on pockets if I want just a flat pocket or the cute flap that's on the boot cut jean. So I'll take you to the table and show you what I'm going to work. And I have an idea for the pockets. I don't know if it'll work, but if I'm going to test it, I might as well test it while we're live, right? Why not? All right, so I just traced this off. This is the pocket from, where did my paper scissors go? I swear they disappear. So this is from the skinny jean. And I'll share my idea with you. I'm just going to cut down to the smallest size. Why? Because then I can print another one. It'll just be easier for you to see this. So I have some paper here. Now, if you don't have an embroidery machine, don't worry. You can just sew your pockets the regular way. But if you have an embroidery machine, I have an idea for you. Make that a little brighter. There we go. Okay. And I just need to grab one more thing. I've been all over the studio today from one end to the other. And God knows where everything is. But I just found it. Okay. Hey, Anne. I have the slender bell jean pattern and the boot cut jean. Is the slender jean similar to your skinny jean? No, the skinny jean is a higher waist and flat pockets. It's a whole different cut. The boot cut and the slender jean are very similar, except the slender jean is actually a bell. Wait, are you talking about, oh, the bell jean pattern? So the bell jean pattern and the boot cut are very similar, except the bottom goes out a little bit further, and in the bell jean, I think it's a little tighter through the leg. Yeah, Denise, you know, once you have a good fitting pattern, you don't, why reinvent the wheel, right? All right, let me go back over here. Now, for all of you that have something like the Dream Machine or even software for your embroidery, I mean, you can kind of, sky's the limit on that. If you don't have an embroidery machine, just enjoy this part because you'll just be sewing normal. But here's my idea. I'm going to trace this out. I'm tracing my pocket onto some white paper. I did something similar to this on a couple pairs of jeans, so you might have seen me do something similar to this in the past. Of course, I always change things up a little bit. I hear the trim needs a thread change. All right. So this will give me a guide of my pocket. Now, I don't have this pattern piece here. I have to print it, but I'm just going to give you a little idea here. If it'll all fit in the hoop, we'll see. We're just going to say now you would actually trace the original pattern, okay? I'm just drawing it here just to make it faster. All right. It kind of looks like this. Oh my goodness, I like that pocket. The other one is more pointed, and then this is where the buttonhole is about right here. I like that. That's kind of fun. All right. Hold tight. We need to go change thread in camera number 15. What color do we have to go to now? What do you think? Woo! It's looking pretty good, isn't it? So now we need to go back to white. And I've got that long to go with white. The one, I did the same feature that I just showed you with the buttons with this. That's kind of why I wanted to show you that. So today we're all over the map, but you're learning a lot of different fun things. And because I did that, I just added each design. It will automatically embroider as many of one color as it can. So because I'm changing to white thread, I'm going to change back to white bobbin thread. Only because I'm using the tool. Usually, my little bobbin spring is not working. Usually I'll just use the same color bobbin throughout the whole thing, but when you're doing something as extreme as white and black, I like to keep them where the bobbins match. All right. And always be super gingerly, because if for any reason your hoop pops open, you are SOL, if you know what I mean. All right, get this out and bring in my white thread. I mean, you might get lucky and be able to get that hoop back where it was, but when you're using tulle is so flimsy. It's hard enough to even, I didn't even put placement markers on here to continue the design down, because when on the tulle, it's almost impossible to get it lined up again. So instead, I'll go ahead and embroider a couple of these hoopfuls, and then when I go to place this on the jacket, I can just very gingerly move these pieces around where they need to be. Yeah, gingerly, that's the word for the day. All right. Okay. Trying to see what section it's doing now. Looks like it's doing the outline. All right. Back to the jeans. Oh, hey, Anne. You want to know if the skinny jean is only in the class? It is at this point. But that doesn't mean that it's not going to eventually be a pattern. It just probably won't be in the next few. Ricky, are you at work? We won't tell anybody. Thanks, Darlene. It is a bigger pocket. It's the smallest pocket, but just think there's a seam allowance around the entire thing. All right, did I get everybody's questions? She is at work. All right, let's head back to the jean table. By the way, I saw a lot of you took photos at the Houston Quilt Fest. Did you have a good time? What was your favorite vendor or favorite thing there? Just curious. Okay. Now, because I'm using my Luminaire over there, I can't scan this in, but those that have the Dream Machine, the Luminaire, you could put this on the scanning mat and send it to the machine. But since I have the Stellaire, and you know what's funny? I know a lot of you have the Stellaire, and it was kind of like everyone said, oh my gosh, this app is a little too much. It's funny how in a couple years, everyone's so used to using an app now that I find that to be easier. So on here, I'm just going to open up. You want to read my text? My sisters and I are talking about cooking. It just makes me hungry. All right, so go to My Design Snap app. That's a free app. Oh, my thread came undone. Okay, so I want to send this to this sewing machine right here. Okay. Now I have a choice. I can either send it to my design center and trace these pockets, which is kind of what I'm going to do. I just have a fun idea. I don't know if it'll work or not, but we're going to try. So let's do snap capture. Click OK. And then you won't be able to see this, but you, oops, my phone is, guess I got to show the phone, huh? I have to lift this up until it says hold in place. 3, 2, 1. All right, there you go. Do you like the photo? There's like a shadow. It's probably my finger. Oh no, I can see it. There's only one piece of paper under there. All right, let me do this again because I have a feeling that's going to show up in my design center. Just get away. There you go. Okay, try it one more time. Take it again. And I'll keep my hand out of the way this time. Lift it up. 3, 2, 1. There we go. There's still a little shadow, but I think it's going to work. Send it to the machine. Okay, as long as I sent it to the right machine. I told you every single machine in here is doing something today. Oh, Jody, you going to Novi? I think Amy Datema is going to go over there. You guys should meet up. Anybody else going to Novi this week? It's gonna be I haven't been to that show in quite a few years. That was my favorite show of all times, and then it just is a little bit too close to Thanksgiving, so I'm skipping it. But you girls have fun. Okay, so now if this works, now it might not work. I don't know. We'll see. Make this a little bigger. Sorry about the glare. It's just my ceiling. Maybe if I take you down a little bit, or is that worse? Oh, well, not much I can do about it. So let's go on home. Go into my design center. Oops, that's Disney. I even have my glasses on. My design center. So in here, I could bring a line drawing, an image, or just the background. So one idea I had was to bring in, first of all, bring in the image. Let's see, through wireless. It should be the top photo. Should. It's the keyword there. There it is. See it? Click set. And yeah, it turned out pretty good. So because I brought it in as a background image, I can make this a little darker to trace if I want. So my idea was to trace, I could design my pocket, the inside of the pocket, if I want to. So let's try it. So this is going to be two different steps. We'll do the top one last. Go under pencil. And we don't really need it to be enclosed. And I'll just use a triple stitch for now because I could change to a decorative. Well, should we just do a decorative stitch just for now, just to make it fun? What would look cool on jeans? Gosh, probably here. I'll turn the glare off for you because that would drive me crazy. There you go. Is that better? A little bit better. Okay, I could totally see something like this on jeans, something like that. This is a really cool stitch. Let's do something like that. You've probably seen that on jeans like 7. I think that's what they're called, something like that. Here, let me bring you this way. There, that's better. I knew I'd get rid of it eventually. Click OK. And I'll use a few different colors so then it'll stop in between. I'll probably be just using silver. So I could take this now. And you can just barely see my line. Can you see that right there? It's like barely, barely. Let me bring this back up. And why don't we do a second line? Because this is literally how I design my pockets using chalk and then stitches. So let's pick a different stitch now. Oops, this. And why don't we do a triple stitch? We'll do this in green. I'm just picking different colors. All right, this is going to be a weird angle. I'll do this again, probably not with you on with me, but all right, that's a triple stitch. I'll put a triple stitch in between these two here. And maybe one more. Ew, that's a terrible line. Take that one off. That's a hard angle for me to draw. Okay, let's go with purple this time. And what other cool stitches do we have? I mean, this is going to make sewing jeans so much more fun. I hate to say it. And since pockets are my favorite, oh, I do like this one. Kind of like a chain. Okay. And All right. Now I know you can just barely see that, but don't worry. Wait for it. So there's that. Now if I take this away, now you see those crazy lines? Barely. All right. Let's click on next. So there's the first line. I'll straighten these up later. In fact, another way you could do this, which you'll see in a minute, is to draw this on paper and then bring it here. But I can see there's that marking. Let's go to the next one. That's the crazy wide stitch. Let's link all those together. Those look good. And the triple stitch, those are linked together. And there's some more of that crazy stitch. It must have gotten separated with my hand. So all this looks fine, but you don't know what it really looks like yet. So go ahead and click preview. Another thing I could do is go through here and do a couple of these stitches and then keep going back and adding more. So now you're obviously not going to use all those crazy colors, but if I bring my pocket up, you can see it right there. That's what those stitches would look on my pocket. So whatever I decide to design, both my pockets will be the same. Because if I take this and turn it into embroidery, like, okay, we'll go ahead and update the background. Why not? So we can see it. There's my pocket. There's my design. And under edit here, I could group all of these. Wait, let's see. Is it under? Did I go too far? Here we go. There. They're already all grouped together because it came from my design center. Me and that grouping button, we're going to have it out one of these days. I either forget about it or use it in the wrong place. But that's what makes it fun. Okay, let me take you back out here. So I embroider one side and then flip it over and embroider the other pocket. You know how much time that's going to save? Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah. Okay, now it's not going to embroider the pocket. That's just the background. If you don't want that on, then now that we're in the embroidery side, click up here and it disappears. Okay, how cool is that? So I'll come and take your questions before. Hi, Win. Good. Wolfpack says hi to you. So Win is carrying fishing rods out. Did I mention it's freezing out? Yeah. Oh, goodness. Hey, Judy. For the luminaire, I have used the scanning mat is what I've been using. But also on the luminaire, now I was just playing with this on the Stellaire. I've not tried the My Design Snap app on the luminaire. So only on the Stellaire so far. You know what? I don't think so, Darlene, but that would be a good idea. I'm just reading your comments. It looks like a handful of you guys went to Houston Quilt Fest. Was the show bigger or smaller than last year? It looked like there were less vendors, but it looked like it was fun. Anything sewing is always fun. Yeah, you might not want to go fishing with Win today, although there's a heater on the boat. Oh, Zena, I need to go visit you. Okay, any questions on that? So I was just playing with this earlier, and I thought this would be so cool to do. Now, I'm going to also check the luminaire because I know there might be a few more decorative stitches in there than what's here. And the other thing is, if you can't draw very well, I've got a couple more ideas for you. So let's head back. I know this is just creative ideas, creative sewing room ideas. Oh, Helen, I like them both. Probably the luminaire is my all-time fave because it's just bigger hoop and everything. But that's just because I like big hoops. Okay, so I'm going to close this out. Let me give you another idea here. Go into my design center. All right. Now, I could bring in a line drawing. Your photo's still there. You don't need to take another photo. I don't think the top of the pocket took a photo all the way, but let's just see what we got because we're just playing for fun right now, anyways. Yeah, it didn't quite get the top of the pocket. But this is turning it into a line drawing. Can make it darker if you need. Click OK. And that's what's going to embroider at this point. Click Set. But we can still change that. So let's get rid of the background. And you can just barely see that top pocket. Let's hit the eraser and get rid of some of these extra lines that showed up. So if you drew out or took a pattern exactly from what you have on there, take a photo, bring it in here. Now let's just pretend that that line goes all the way across. So I'm just gonna erase that top line and draw one straight line. One straight line. Click OK. And let's go from, oops, I didn't quite get it in the right spot. Because you know what this could do? Could literally sew my pockets in the embroidery machine. Create just a standard stitch for that bottom part. Well, actually, you wouldn't even need that top. So let's take that off again. If this was my stitching line, and why don't I go ahead and erase the buttonhole for now, because I don't need it. That was just a mark of my own. If you take the outline of your top pocket, because the one that I have on the boot cut even goes down a little further, it can be tricky to sew both of those sides the same. So let's just say this was the real pattern. Click Next. I'm going to link all the lines together. There you go. And right now it's on a satin stitch. Let's just choose a straight stitch. Well, let's do the triple stitch. It's nice and strong. Then click OK. There's my pocket. Click Preview. And now that is going to stitch onto fabric. So what on earth are you going to do with that? Well, there's our image, remember? Let's get rid of it. If it's going to embroider like this, just take a piece of fabric. I'll take you over to the table and show you what I'm talking about. Because it's going to literally sew your top of your pocket together. It's going to be perfect on both sides. Bye, Dolly. Great to see you. Okay, here you go. So if you have your denim fabric, and by the way, you could raise this up a little bit and take two separate photos. It doesn't matter because I erased this with no problem. It would be the same thing if you scanned it in your machine. Okay. Here, we'll just use these two fabrics because they're small and right here. So if this was your denim, let's just say this was your denim, you'd have one side facing up and one side facing down, one layer of each. So one side facing up and one side facing down. And then it would embroider the bottom of your pocket right here. And then you'd want to do a second one. So you have both pockets. And then all you have to do is trim around the seam allowance and you have two perfect pockets. Not only that, before you decide to sew your pocket, you can add designs to the top of your pocket too. So if this is your pocket, you're going to want to have two pockets. But I would decorate it first and then duplicate it. But anyways, here's the duplicate. So there's pocket two. You have two pockets. Maybe you want them different. Maybe you want to put an initial in one of these. Yeah, let's put a big old W. Although I would probably put my logo. any designs that you decide to add first. See what we've got, any cool decorative. Oh, these are fun. Let's put this here. I'm just giving you some inspirational ideas. Okay, and oops, I don't want to go that way. So let's take that off, and you want to add them sideways. That looks cool. I don't want it to interrupt. Oh, and by the way, maybe you want that to go all the way across your pocket. Well, guess what? Go ahead and make it further. It's not quite to the edges. I don't think there'll be enough room to add one more. Let's see. There is. So just go like this and center it on here. When you sew your pocket together, you're going to get rid of anything in the seam allowances anyways. So there's another idea. So let's put my W here, make it a little smaller. These jeans are going to be so much fun to make, and I want you guys to have fun. And the most fun is decorating. So, all right, and we're not going to put the buttonholes on yet. So the first thing you would do is stitch both of these onto your fabric. Then you would stitch your outlines after you sandwich your fabric together. So you'd have your front and back. Then you would trim around the outside of these, just like you would a pattern piece. Flip them right side out, press them. And then when you're all finished, you're going to click Add Buttonhole if you have the buttonholes. And we want to do a cool one for the jeans, of course. That's pretty big. Small is about 2 inches. What's extra small? About 1 inch. Let's see what that looks like. There it is. Click Edit. Rotate. And then we can embroider our buttonholes on here. You could even go ahead and mark your buttonholes on there, but after you'd already have cut out your fabric, flipped it right side out. So you'd have to take another picture to make sure that these were on the right place on your hoop. And I would stick these on tearaway stabilizer, and you would really just need to use the smallest hoop so you wouldn't waste much stabilizer. So there's one buttonhole, and there's the other. So I'm just doing this by playing on the machine. Those of you that are embroidery experts that play with this on software and stuff, you could come up with some very cool patterns. But this was all from just taking a photo or scanning, if you're using the Dream Machine or something, and placing this into the machine. Super easy to do, right? Okay, and one last idea for you is to go on, let's see. You could send the photo right into embroidery if you want. I think I have to take another photo, so I'm going to cheat. I'm just going to bring this up. Oops, nope, not that. Not that. Here we go. Since I already have it saved right here. So let's bring this up because this is where I originally sent it. So I can always bring it back up. So bring it here, and let's just add a shape, like a heart or something, just to have something in here. Well, that's an awful big heart. It hardly even fits in my pocket. Click on size, make it smaller. We'll just make it really small. Okay, there it is. Click OK, and then click Next. Regardless if I want to use that heart or not. We're going to bring it to the embroidery section. And it will say Update Background. Yep. Yes. Now, I could have just taken another photo, but I'm just trying to save time. So now we're in the embroidery side. There's the heart. And in here, because if this is your pocket, you could chalk this in. I usually will chalk mine in for my pocket, do all my embroidery, and then cut it out later. So let's just say this is a whole entire piece of fabric there. Well, that gives you a lot more options to add embroidery designs or some crazy shapes. So that nice curve I was trying to do, I don't know, would you call it an oval or a curve? We'll call it an oval. Let's do this with one of these decorative stitches right here. Okay. And you have to play with this a little bit, but make it bigger. And why don't you rotate it? So I'm just going to get that out of the way. I don't even want that heart. If I take this here, the only part that is going to show is the part that's inside of my pocket. So that's a perfect oval that I was trying to do myself. Didn't work out very well. And look how cool that stitch is. So click OK. So this is a prettier way. I duplicated that. Let's make it a little bit bigger. All right, so now I will have, there's one line and there's line. All the rest of this will embroider, or I could even stop it when it gets to that point. That's all going to be outside the pocket. But what I'm trying to explain here is that you can go in here and have a lot of fun with some of these crazy shapes and stuff. Why don't we do a diamond? Or use the same ones. I love that curve. So there's a diamond. Oops. Once you have too much stuff on here, you probably have to use the select feature. Maybe I'm going to do the diamond where it just comes out the side. And all of these will be proportional then. So when I'm finished with this, I can save all of these and then mirror image so you have two pockets that are exactly the same. All right, I think I've spent like a whole day talking about pockets, but it's my favorite thing to do. I'm with you, Darlene. Well, I don't ever get anything done, do I? That's why I just finished making a sweater. I'm working on the jacket. I got squirreled with the buttonholes, all the things. The only thing I did get finished is I have the embroidery going and the pattern is printed. And then I realized I have a sloper that fits. So, like, oh, well, I guess I probably don't even need that pattern. All right. Oh, and full disclosure, I am a Brother brand ambassador, just in case somebody didn't know that. But I only use what I love to play with. It would make it easy. Yeah. Hey, Karen. How are you? Oh, you missed a squirrel day. We did buttonholes. We did sewing with knits. I'm working on pockets. Oh, yeah, Karina. I should tell him. You know what? I don't think I've taken it out of the closet yet. He needs to wear that. Yeah, Shirley. So you do you have an embroidery machine, don't you, Shirley? So try this. And if you have software, you could really have a lot of fun with this. For those of you that have followed me for a long time, I think I did this on the Dream Machine where I scanned in uh, my pattern and then I used that as a guide to draw. But it wasn't until later that I thought of, wait a minute, I could bring in all these shapes. They would all be match. I could also bring in these shapes, by the way, on my design center. So let's see, we're out of time. But if you bring these shapes into my design center, just like we did, see how all those designs are hanging over the pocket? Then you click the eraser and you get rid of all the excess. So a lot of different options there. Oh yeah, Shirley, you do the same thing. Oh, you have some stretch denim. That's awesome. Thanks, Mary Lou. All right, guys, any questions? Let's take a look at what's happening on the embroidery side over here because I think it ran out of thread. I know, Darlene, the hours go by so fast. Oh, yeah, check my upper thread. All right, let's rethread her. I will take a photo of this when it's finished in I have only been here for 84 minutes and there's 369 total. So probably in 2 days, I'll take a photo of this. And by the way, yes, I saved it to the machine. And even though the machine, when I turn it off and turn it back on, will go right back to this, I always write down the stitch number that I'm on. I always write this down before I turn it off. You just never know. I've never, ever, ever, and yes, I'm knocking on wood. I've never had it where it turned back on and did not know where I was, but I don't want it to happen this time, not after doing all this. So I don't know where that stopped. We'll start right here. Trying to figure out where. The thread broke. Oh, we'll start there. All right, so I will definitely change the description for this because we didn't even talk about the waist. We got so sidetracked with pockets, so I better rename it as pockets. How to design pockets in the embroidery machine. You know, I think the coolest thing though, and I would love to hear your comments. Those of you that have made my boot cut jean or the bell, those pockets, I have a very sharp point. And it's really tricky to get them both the same on each side. Now, in my craftsy class, I gave tips for that on the sewing side. But all of a sudden yesterday, I was thinking, you know, I think the embroidery machine could sew this. I think so. Hey, Betty. All right, anybody see Beverly in here today? We've been thinking of her. She had some surgery, and I just want to see if she's been doing okay, but I have not seen her for a day. So if anybody hears from her, or Bev, if you're watching this later, just know that we're all thinking of you. Any questions for me before we roll? Before we call it a wrap? Oh, thanks, Karen. There is a first time for everything, even if you do knock on wood. Yeah. So I know not all of you are in the Fashion Sewing Club, and yesterday we were working on cardigans. There's not a fabric stash sale this week. It will be the week after Thanksgiving. I think I still have about 5 more packages to send out, so then everybody will get their fabric and denim. I know a lot of people had ordered the denim, and I did look for gray denim, and I did not see any downstairs in my stash. I found enough that I had washed already for myself, but I didn't find a whole roll. So I did email the company to see if I could get any more of that gray, because I know you guys liked it. It was super, super soft. But for now, you just have the blue. Oh, discount code. Hey, Darlene. Okay. Hold tight. I think it's going to give me a code here. Thank you for reminding me. I always have double logins for everything, so hold tight. So Fashion Sewing Club, go into the Fashion Sewing Club website and you have your own discount codes there. All right, it's sending me another link. I waited too long. Oh, Jody, is that how you'd go around a zipper? With the embroidery machine or sewing? I think I would sew around a zipper, personally. There is a purple tweed, Karen, and it has a little sparkle to it. I was embroidering, remember when I was embroidering collections for, it was purple and beige, I think? Yeah, it's on the app. All right, hold tight. Let me just make a discount code for you guys that want to look for, come on. I didn't even think about that, or I would have had it ready for you. And those of you that have to run, have a wonderful day while I'm looking up these codes. All right. So why don't we call this, should we just call it tweed? Tweed fun. There are some cool designs in that embroidery collection that will look good on the jeans too, by the way. I just thought of that. Okay, so let's create a coupon. This is not Fashion Sewing Club. Don't forget, you have your own. We'll call this Tweed Fun, all lowercase letters. And why don't we go 20% off? Why not, right? And this will be for the embroidery collection and patterns. And it will expire on Monday, the 13th. Fair enough? All right, so I'll post it right here. Coupon code, Tweed Fun. And this is for Angela Wolf Patterns website. So I'll bring this up here. And this is where you'll find the embroidery collections and stuff like that. There you go. Oh, Jody. Yeah, you could do that on the zipper of the Blair jacket with those decorative stitches. You could definitely do that. I was thinking sewing. I wasn't on the same page. And then let me find that purple tweed for you. It's on here. Kara, did you find it? I'm just keeping an eye on my embroidery as I'm talking to you. That's looking good. So now is the thicker white layer. And then there's a little more black coming out from the flowers. So there's still a lot more going. Okay. Purple tweed. Hold tight. I saved purple tweed for myself because I'm making that. Well, Karen, if you make the same one, we can wear the same jacket on the cruise. Oh, by the way, I just got word there are only 2 spots left. So if you are thinking of going on the cruise, you better snag one of those spots. I guarantee they won't be available after Thanksgiving. Yeah, Anne, I ship to Canada. So if you just put in, if you email me, I'll help you with that. The website gets really weird sometimes. All right, where is the purple? Where is the purple tweed? Maybe. I thought it was in here. If not, I'll add more because I do have a whole bolt of it. I have a really bad habit of buying an extra bolt if I get down to the last yard. Here it is. Oh, it says 0. I'll put more in there because I know there's more. Let's see. It's sold by the half yard. Let's see. You know what? I better count when I go downstairs, but I'm pretty sure there's like a good 3 yards. So I just added it. And here's the link. And if you want, you can put it in your waiting list and I'll go downstairs and measure to make sure what I have. Right now, I think I just popped in 3 yards in there, but I'll double check what it is. All right. Any other questions for me? Yeah, the collections work with all embroidery machines. Oh, yeah, and just email me, info@angelawolf.com, and I'll help you out. Oh, Glenda, are you going on the cruise? You and Pete? Yay! I know Karen's going, Kimberly's going. I'm so excited. Yeah, Kelly sent me a message. So, by the way, some of you had asked, what projects are we going to be working on? Well, I've been working on some really cool quilted bags. Very much like Vera Bradley-ish, kind of, but more fun. So anyways, a really classy tote bag that you can use while you're shopping and stuff like that, and then a coordinating bag to go inside. So I've been working with a lot of the bags because that's something that we can all make while we're there, and it's something that can fold in your suitcase. And um, I don't know, you can have a lot of fun embellishing. A lot of fun embellishing. Yep. Well, Glenda, I got to tell Win, he's going to be very excited. Oh, thanks, Terry. Thank you, thank you. I didn't see Darlene asking. Yep. Yes, it sure will. Yes, and Darlene, I think there's one design out of, I think there's over 30 designs in each of the collections. There's one bigger design that does not work with the 4x4 hoop, but everything else does. So I think you just miss one design. And all of the little designs could be embroidered to make the bigger design if you wanted to. The embroidery designs, okay, you want a link. Hold on. I'll share my website here for you. And it's all downloadable. There's no CDs or anything like that. So it's right here. Here we go. So it's Angela Wolf Patterns. And if you scroll down, you can see some fabric, some things like that. This is not the app. This is a different website. A lot of these links, though, will take you there. If you click on Fabric Stash Sale, that will take you to the Fabric Stash Sale. And there's the 2 replays. And some of you asked if I would keep the sale going until Monday, and everything should be on sale on that website. So if you missed out on any fabrics, I just cut this one. Susie, I just shipped yours on this one, and as I was cutting it, it's actually a black. I'm surprised it looks like that. I cut 3/4 of a yard to make myself a skirt to go with my black sweater. Yeah, super cute. Okay, and these are the replays for the fabric if you want to see them. And the embroidery collections are, if you go under here under embroidery at the top, and just click on all embroidery. So this was collection number 1. So this design here would not fit in a 4x4, but all the other ones would. And they will all work with any machine you have, any brand. All right, let's see, page 2, maybe? Yeah, so there's collection number 2. That's the one I'm embroidering right now. That's collection number 1. And where's collection 3? Did I already pass it? Oh my goodness. You know what? I don't even see it on here. It must be out of stock. So I have collection 3 on here too. So I'll just have to bring it up somewhere. It's in here somewhere. I'm glad I looked, right? You know, the cool collection that I have on my mesh that I've done with that. Well, goodness gracious. I'm not. Oh, it's right here. I was looking for my black mesh. It's right here. Here you go. And this one has all smaller designs. This is my most recent collection. This was the top I was looking for. So those were all little pieces that I just put together and embroidered. All right, if you have any problems, this website's been a little bit of a pain in the butt lately because I put some extra security on there. So if you have any issues checking out, don't even waste 2 minutes. Just email me. I can send you an invoice yourself and make it easy for you because it has like too much security, I think. Hey, thanks, Terry. Thank you, thank you. Is there a website for the So Fun Cruise? Yeah, Mary, there is. Mary, did you go to Houston Quilt Fest? I'm just curious. So fun. Here you go. It's right here. This is the So Fun Cruise. Actually, I'm sending her the video in case you missed the video. It's going to be so much fun. I actually just got my reservations, so I need to go in and organize my room. I want to make sure I get the drink package because I drink a lot of coffee and I like to have a glass of wine at night. So, and I got to keep Win occupied during the day. But anyways, it's so cool. I've never been on a cruise before. You all know that, but I'm pretty excited about this because when you go in there, it has each port that we're going to and like ideas of things to do. So I just think we're going to have a great time. Oh, thanks, Mary Lou. Oh, is there a promo code? 50 off. I did not know that, Karen. Is it on there somewhere? You can always call them too if you have any. Oh, I wonder if they are sold out. As of yesterday, they only had 2 rooms left. Hmm. Well, you won't want to delay if you're going to go. All right, embroidery's still going. Any other questions? It could be off topic, but I got to run in about 1 minute. Oh, thanks, Mary Lou. I think so too. No, Helen, I saw the price of that. I was like, oh my gosh. But they have like a package where it includes coffee, water, and all of that. So, oh, Karen says go slower. It's way down there. Here? Oh, there you go. $250 off on your cabin pricing. Nice. Well, there's the website, and I put it in the comments too. Thanks, Karen, for mentioning that. I didn't even know. Okay, everyone, this is fun. I got to go embroider. I'm going to go work on my pockets. Now, here's the worst part is I also have software. So, you know what's going to happen now that my mind is like rolling around using embroidery. So, now I'm going to go on software. I'll have to resort to Cindy Hogan's book because I always have to go back to it. She has the best book if you don't know that. And I think I'm going to have to design some really cool pockets. And I have my logo digitized thanks to Cindy. Not Cindy Hogan, Cindy King. She had that digitized and I have it on my hat now. So I could put my logo on one of them. Oh my gosh. I might have to make more than one pair. This is bad. But the idea is if you're making jeans, it's just a process once you get past the creative part for the pockets. And if you're going to make one, you might as well make 2 or 3, right? All right. Great to see you all. Helen, your package, I think, is sitting at the door. UPS has not come to get it yet, but it's there. And other than that, some of you emailed me and said that you got a refund and you thought that you weren't getting all your fabric. So if you ever pay too much for shipping, I refund the excess to you. So if you ended up getting like a $6 or $7 refund, it wasn't fabric. It was probably because you paid too much for shipping. And I want you to be able to spend that again. All right, everyone. Have a fabulous day. If I'm missing anything, you can email me, and it's always nice to see you. Tomorrow, I will be on the Brothers Show at noon. And thanks, Shirley. Tomorrow, oh my gosh, you're not going to want to miss tomorrow's show. Kathy Stipe, and who's joining her? My mind just went blank. We got 2 educators coming on for ideas for Thanksgiving. Wait till you see these turkeys that she made. They are so stinking cute. So stinking cute. So, and Anne, it's great to see you again. It's been a little while. All right, everyone. Have fun. Wolfpack, stay safe, and happy sewing, everyone. Bye.